Hey everyone, my name is Terence and I'm an ocean photographer from South Africa, and I've created this YouTube channel just to talk a little bit about my work and the behind the scenes, because I know a lot of you have questions about how I get the photos that I do and what it takes to become an ocean photographer. And I'm happy to explain all of this because this is not just what I do for a living, it's my absolute passion. I really enjoy being in the ocean, and taking photos of waves especially makes me really happy. So that's why I do it. It's mainly because I get a really good sense of peace and happiness from being in the ocean, and being able to capture it is a bit of a plus side to it, and making it a career is the cherry on top. It's really something special, and I'm very blessed to make this a career path. So this series I'm going to be talking about specific photos that I've taken and tell you a little bit of the backstory of how I captured it, where I was, how I was feeling at the moment, and a little bit about some of the material that it's printed on, because there's so many different kinds of options you can get my work printed on. For example, like canvas and metal and acrylic. So I figured that it will be quite cool to talk about the different materials as well as the photo itself. So I'm definitely going to be doing more of these in the future, and I'm going to start off with this one here, which I'm going to be talking about soon. And a little bit more about this channel is that it's not just going to be about the work that I've taken, but also the behind the scenes, such as being in the water at sunrise with my camera, and also the day in the life of an ocean photographer and those kinds of videos. So I really hope that you enjoy these, and if you do, just give it a thumbs up and you can share it with your friends and family. It's just something that I think that a few of you might be interested in, instead of just seeing the end result of my photography, because so many people see the end result of like a beautiful sunrise photo in the ocean, but I think a few of you would be interested in how I got that photo and where I was and how I was feeling at the moment. Especially if you decide on purchasing one of my prints, I think you would want to know a little bit of a backstory to that photo. So that's what the series is going to be about. So I hope you enjoy. So I've got this photo here. It's titled Ocean Wisdom, and the reason why I titled this one Ocean Wisdom is specifically because of these contour lines you see in the lip. And I came up with that because in nature you see that pattern all up throughout nature. And for instance, the rings around a tree, when it's being cut, you can see there's rings, which is kind of like the fingerprint of the tree. And the more rings there are, the closer they are between each other, means how old the tree is. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in nature itself, and I think this one, being in the ocean of a wave and having all these contour lines, just reminded me of that. So I've titled it Ocean Wisdom. And it's really something spectacular. This day was really cloudy, and at first when I jumped off the rocks it wasn't really sunny or anything, but the ocean was quite still and the ocean was really clean. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna get in regardless. And when I jumped in, there was a few moments where the sun actually shone through the clouds and lit up the ocean so beautifully. And that's why you see these dark blues and you see a very light blue in the body of the wave, because there's a stream of light that was hitting just the part where I was taking photos of. Because this is deeper water all around here, and this is thinner water where the lip of the wave is, it was able to penetrate that water, which is illuminating it, which is causing the light blue effect here. And you can see the foam exploding on the side there, which is also reflecting the light, which is also really bright over there. You can see all these pieces of foam essentially also getting lit up. And because it was a dark and like gloomy sky, that's why it's quite dark in the background, which is allowing you to see all these pieces of water in the air. And because with the camera that I use, I'm able to pause these moments within a split second, which is causing this wave to be perfectly preserved in a photo format. And it just makes for a really unique piece, because this wave right here that you see will never repeat itself. There might be millions of other waves that you can take photos of, but this one specifically will never exist again. So that's why ocean photography is so special, especially waves, because each wave is so unique. You will never get the same one ever again. And I just really like the color blue, because the ocean blue, the sky's blue, all my favorite things are blue. So this one's very special to me, and I actually used this one for my latest book titled Liquid Moments, The Art of Swell. I thought it fit the cover really nicely because it filled the frame, it filled the whole front of the book, and it left me a little bit of space to write the heading and a little bit of space at the bottom to write The Art of Swell. So I thought it was very fitting. I thought it was a very fitting image to use for my front cover. And this photo is actually printed on metal. It's a really robust piece of art here. And this one specifically is a white plated metal print, which means that it's got a layer of white printed on first, and then it's got the actual image printed over it. And the reason for this is because on standard metal prints without that white print in the beginning, metal will show through, and that's called a brushed metal print, which will show pieces of metal through the image, which is also very unique, but it needs a specific image for it to work well, because all the white areas of the photo won't be printed, and that's where the metal will show through. So if I chose to not get that white metal print here, the metal would have been shining through these areas, which I think would have taken away from the actual photograph. So those white metal, the brushed metal prints will work really well for black and white photos where the white is not really anything to do with the image. Those will work really well with those kind of prints. But this one, I wanted the image to be really the main focus of the art piece, and the white metal print allows me to do that. And another nice thing about this specific material is that it doesn't have much reflection, as you can see, because if you get an HD metal print, it's got a lot of reflective properties. It might bring out the colors a lot more, but it will have reflection. So if you hang it somewhere where there's a lot of windows and a lot of natural light, it depends of how it's angled, but then you would probably see the windows in the background and you won't be able to see the image that nicely. Those work well for places where there aren't many windows around it. This one, however, can be hung anywhere in the house and it won't have that problem because it has very minimal reflecting properties. So that's why I like these kinds of mediums, because you can hang it anywhere. It's really HD and it looks very neat. It's robust and it's also very easy to clean. So you can take a damp cloth, even just a dry cloth, and you can wipe it to clean it from dust and from any markings that you see, which is really beneficial. Other than that, it is mounted with a square box here, and you actually are able to hang it off these pieces here, which allows you to hang it without having any obstructions showing. So you won't have two latches here or anything. It will just look like it's floating off the wall, which is very special. It's very modern, it's very neat, and it's quite popular nowadays. So this is a white metal print, and this photo is called Ocean Wisdom, and it is available for you to have a look at. And if you want to order it, you can get hold of me, or you can order it off the website. But thank you so much for listening to this, and I'm hoping to do more of these with different photos. Thank you.